Hi there, YouTube, and all of my subscriber family. This is Garrett with Houseless on Wheels, and I'm kind of taking a break from the series, the van build series here, and I am currently at a campground, and I'll show you the surroundings with my campsite in a little bit. It's actually the same site as I did some voluntary cleanup with a nonprofit organization. Well, at any rate, I'm there, and today is August 26th, 2016, and this is a semi-live update on what's going on with me, I suppose. And I say semi-live because I am most likely not going to be uploading any of these videos until after I get back from my camping trip here. So I'm actually going to be uploading these videos before I edit down any more of my van build videos, which I'm about a month and a half behind on still, which is approximately, I don't know, 60, 80, even 100 gigabytes worth of video. I'm not exactly sure, but it's a lot. Anyway, this is the Royal Arch Park. I'll go ahead and show you around in a little bit, like I'd mentioned. As you can see, there's actually quite a bit more to this build than what you currently see, because in the last video that you've seen I just laid out the floors. Of course, that was on between July 3rd and July 4th of this year. But for the time being, let's go ahead and take a look around in case you haven't had a chance to see the last video that I did. Not the last video, but the previous video where I did some voluntary cleanup. The video itself is actually called Royal Arch Park. But let's go ahead and I will take you outside. As you can see, currently I do have a view of the campground. But let's go outside and I'll just kind of show you around. 6:30 in the morning, I think. My cell phone's up there somewhere, so I don't feel like getting up and grabbing it. But anyway, it's the morning of the second day of the camping trip, so I've spent one night here so far. And it's about 63 degrees, or maybe it was 62 last time I checked AccuWeather. But, so it's a little chilly. It's not that bad though. I actually enjoyed the cold weather. I am not a fan of the heat at all, which has kind of slowed down the van progress, but I'm not in too much of a rush to get it done. I was actually hoping to have a stove somewhere over there in that empty space before the camping trip, but not having the van for 2 weeks really put a delay on that. But in that space right next to this shelf, right over there, like directly up against that shelf, I'm going to have another shelf built for my little study area. But as you can see, I'm being lazy right now. I'm just lying in bed. I might actually work on the camper van while I'm camper van. It's technically just a cargo van, but anyway, I might work on the van sometime today. As I enjoy my camping trip with a bunch of friends. There's my view. It's pretty awesome. I've already taken down the blanket that I had covering the windows. Yeah, having a good time so far. I have no idea what I'm going to do next. I'm just recording these videos by ear. Not literally by hanging my camcorder by my ears, that would be painful, but I'm just winging it. And that's not to say that I have actual wings. I'm improvising. Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah, I'm thinking I might actually go back to sleep. This bed is extremely comfortable. So yeah, I see there's someone outside that's enjoying a campfire, so I may walk out there, grab some coffee real quick, and maybe a chit chat for a few minutes, and like I said earlier, I may just fall asleep again. I have no idea yet. By the way, don't I just have lovely morning hair? I mean, this is officially a blooper. Oh, goodness. So, being the type of person that I am, liking to stay busy all the time, after I lounged in the bed for a little while longer, I had breakfast and conversed with some people that were awake and enjoyed the campfire. And then I decided to lounge again, watch a movie, and then I decided to work on a template for the cabin, for the next cabinet that will be going next to this shelf in the study area. So that's what you see here. It's nothing fancy, but it is flush, and that's what I really care about. I was hoping that it would work for both sides, but unfortunately I'll have to modify this template ever so slightly for the other side here. What I did not do was bring the propane box so I could make sure that the measurements were perfect, or at least close to it, for the width of the next cabinet. And that's not necessarily an issue because I need to go into town anyway, so I may or may not pick it up just for the sake of working on the van today. Otherwise, I may just guesstimate, because if I remember correctly, the propane box is 14 inches wide, and I'll just measure out 14 inches, and then after cutting out this first piece here, I'll just go ahead and modify the template to fit the other side. And I do have the plywood to cut out both pieces. So thought I'd take advantage of my relaxation time with somewhat minimal distractions and less heat. It was 96 yesterday, if I remember correctly, and today it's only around 70 degrees. So it's quite a significant drop in temperature, but it's far more comfortable to work on the van in this kind of temperature, even though I do have my ventilation fans and another means of cooling. So anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and get to work on this. Maybe I'll film more of, cutting out the cabinet pieces. Of course, there's a lot of videos of me doing that already, so I may or may not decide to do that. I'm not sure. All I know is that I'm enjoying my camping trip, even though I'm doing busy things, and on occasion, well, for about half the time, I'm also just relaxing and enjoying other people's company. So anyway, that's it for this portion of the video. I was thinking about doing something crazy like snapping my fingers or something, but I've decided to go against that. So by the time this next screen comes about, I'll be doing something else. So yeah. Hey, it's Saturday night / Sunday morning. It's about 1 a.m. so it is technically Sunday morning. And if I can show you, it's pretty dark out there. I actually just turned the light on above me so you could actually see me talking to you. But and If you hear the fan noise in the background, I do apologize. I'm enjoying the fireplace. I'll show you that here in a second. But overall, the day was pretty good. I took some nature photos and recorded some of the river, some video of the river. So overall, just another relaxing day. And I have noticed is that this air mattress is super comfortable. I may not, I mean, the plan was for this air mattress to just be a temporary thing until I could afford to get an organic latex mattress, but I actually really like this. I may end up just keeping this in here. The cool thing, I think you can tell by the angle, when this mattress is fully inflated, it actually angles up and allows me to stretch out a little bit more, because again, I'm 6'2", so this van being being only 5 feet 9 inches, as far as width, it makes it difficult for me to stretch out a little bit. And I talked about this earlier, but yeah, the other cool thing about this angling up is I don't have like levelers on the van, and I don't really want to go through the hassle of having to level out the van just to sleep with my head positioned properly. So one advantage of this mattress as well is that depending on which side the van is angled on, if it's not on a flat surface, I can just adjust the mattress. So just some things I've learned on my little camping journey, if you will. Also, for those who are considering insulating their van or not insulating their van, if you're watching this video, which you may or may not be, last year I also camped in this van when I first got it, and it was not at the point that I had the van at. I laid out some sound deadener and some 1/8 inch foam on the floor itself. Then I put a plywood subfloor on top of that, and that was pretty much all that was in the van, except for a memory foam mattress it was a full-size memory foam mattress that I had at the time in here, and that's what I camped in last year. The walls were bare metal. There was pretty much nothing else to the van. The only light I had was just a little battery-operated flashlight, which was fine. I mean, it was it was fairly comfortable. However, one thing I noticed was that the sheet metal, it almost seemed like the sheet metal was sucking it was absorbing all of the heat that was in the van. So if it felt like it was about 10 degrees colder inside the van than it was outside, and it was already maybe 55 degrees outside, so we're talking about like 45 degrees. It wasn't, to me, that's still reasonable. I like the cold weather. And so now that I have, but nevertheless, it was still fairly cold. I was okay with it, but it was, it's uncomfortable to a certain standpoint, I suppose you could say. But now having insulation in the van, it's made a huge difference. When it's warm outside, it stays a little bit cooler for a little bit longer, especially when I'm parked in a shaded spot like I am right now. Another thing is that it stays about 5 or 10 degrees warmer inside the van than outside when I don't have any heat going. Now, I have my fireplace going now, but I didn't have it running last night, and it was still a little bit warmer inside the van than it was outside. And so if you're considering whether or not you should insulate your van, I definitely recommend doing it. I'm very much enjoying it. It's been a very comfortable last 2 nights. I've been sleeping in the van off and on for the last couple of weeks while it's been rather hot outside. So I've already been kind of used to it already, but it's been nice. I've very much enjoyed this camping trip. So with that said, I will go ahead and show you the fireplace in its operated condition, I suppose. It's really warming up the place quite well. It's only 2,000 BTUs, but in 68 square feet of space, you really don't need more than that. I do plan on eventually getting a propane heater as well, but for now, I'm good with this. So I'll show this to you as well, and depending on the lighting, I may or may not turn off one or the light above me, or even possibly the other light that's over near the bulkhead. So I'm gonna reposition the camcorder and allow you to watch the fireplace for a little bit before I turn in for the night. So yeah, enjoy. Good morning. Yeah, as you can really see, I took the blanket off at a certain point because it started to get a little bit chilly. I don't know if you can see, there's my view, and maybe I can show you a better angle if I take the camcorder off of the tripod. There we go. So, let me see if I can do some sort of telekinetic type of phase from my eyes to the camera so you can see what I see. Let's see. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, you see what I did there? Yeah. So here's my blanket, obviously. And let's see how much of the view I can give you. So just laying in bed, this is what I see. And it's a nice, beautiful scenery. And there's the fireplace, which is pretty nice. There's my lovely construction mess over there. But then I've also got a view over there. Those windows are tinted. The back windows are not yet tinted, so I need to work on that. But yeah, it's been a very relaxing weekend. Something that I've probably needed for some time. Okay, I've needed for some time. So what's going on in about a little under an hour is there's going to be a group breakfast get-together for everyone that's still here at the campout. Then I just dropped my phone, which is fantastic. And after that, I'm thinking about doing a little bit of reading. So I didn't do anything more uh, uh, after I built that template, but I think I'm probably going to. But I might do some reading and do my studies immediately after breakfast and after I socialize for a little bit with everybody. And yeah. Oh, I should mention that it's nice and toasty in here. I am not sure what the temperature's like out there yet. I didn't bring my digital weather station thingamabobber that tells you the outside temperature and weather and also the inside temperature, but just based on my own self gauge, I'm guessing it's about 72 in here. Yeah, the fireplace gets this place cooking. I enjoy it. I'm not the biggest fan of heat, but I'll I'll take a nice fire heat. And I don't know. It might be about 60 outside. I think that's what it's supposed to be. I'm not sure. I suppose I can look it up on my phone real quick. Let's see. No, I'm not correct. It's actually 58 degrees. So it's currently 58 degrees according to my cell phone. But I'm just gonna let this fire die down. Every time I fill up the ethanol container, it takes between an hour and an hour and a half to use up, and I'm gonna enjoy every bit of this hour to hour and a half just watching it. And then I will go outside and join others at the actual campfire. But I got out of the van rather early yesterday, so I want to relax a little bit more and enjoy laying in bed and watching this fire. So I have it temporarily wired up with the fan to blow the heat out to the rest of the living quarters. But eventually I do need to drill into the more current cabinet right here and actually do a more permanent wiring setup, but I'm not too concerned about that right now. I'm just enjoying it for what it is, just testing it out. That's the thing. I like to make sure as I build it, as I build and progress with the van build, I like to test it to make sure that it works out the way I wanted it to. And sometimes it works out better than I wanted it to. Sometimes it doesn't work out as well as I wanted it to. So it's all, trial and error. And that's one of the great things about not necessarily being in a huge rush to get this van build done is I can test things out. So I'm very, very happy with the way that things have turned out as far as their utility here in the van so far. So I'm looking forward to progressing even further, and I like this angle a little bit better. But I'm looking forward to progressing and getting further along in the van build, so that way I can get the study area finished and then also start working on the kitchen and the bathroom. I'll probably take care of the kitchen first before I take care of the dry bath. That will do for the time being, and apparently I need to transfer more recordings over to my laptop, so we'll see where we go from here.